Hey everybody, thanks for joining me again. This one is going to be a little bit longer than my norm, so I apologize. Um, so basically what we're going to start off with. This first one is basically the fiasco or the mess up that made me do or use the base paint as a cell activator. So I'm just showing you what happens leading up to this. Um, so again, sorry for the long video. Um, with this one, I used the first color is like a pearl white, but I added titanium white to it just to give it a little bit more, I don't know, opacity. Is that right? Is that the word? Nevertheless, there's that. Followed by TLP Tail Feather, and then Aqua Flash by, I believe it's Folk Art. Um, Luster Violet, um, TLP Mermaid, and TLP Twinkle. Followed by, like, on that one, I felt like I needed to put a little bit extra tail feather. So here we are, swiping. I'm using Amsterdam Titanium White as my swipe. Um, Normally, I don't do little swipes like this, and this was just me trying to test something out on a smaller, on a smaller surface before I would do anything on a bigger one, just to see what it looks like. Um, but I probably need a bigger swiper or like a bigger tool to swipe. That way, it's just one swipe versus two swipes. So didn't get that from this. Um, so here we are with this. I left this one just let you see the cells activate as it goes, and for me, funny enough, like I started out using white as my cell activator, and right now I don't even like using it. I don't know why. I like the black and the Payne's gray better than the white, um, or even gold to a point. Gold's a little much, but anyway, so I picked it up and I'm gonna tilt this a little bit before I spin it. Again, I don't like tilting either. That's how I started doing all this, is by tilting. And honestly, for me, once you go back and forth, sometimes your cells get messed up. Because for me, I'm indecisive. I don't know which way I want to go, so they start looking. My cells start getting all messed up. And here's where my screw up kind of happened. My tile went flying. So now all that paint that was on my spinner got mixed up for the most part. Um, and so, if you look at the tile, I got a couple of splatters on there and nothing dramatic, I guess. But I'm going to go ahead and spin it just a little bit more, just try and get an idea of what it looks like. Obviously, this isn't my best work on this. But at this point in time, I'm looking down at my spinner and I'm seeing these cells that are showing up in that mess of paint. I'm like, what? Because there's no white right there. I'm not seeing any white around these cells. I'm seeing all base paint color that's creating the cells. So, what would any other artist do? All right, we're gonna test this theory out. So I forgot to hit record. Colors went down all the same colors, the same order, and all that jazz. No mystery there. Um, and I'm gonna get my base paint. I mean, you can see. Look, I mean, over here on the left hand side, you can see all those cells. That's with the base paint. Surely not. So here we go. I'm gonna do like a swirl swipe. I think I saw this. I think the first one I saw was Billy from the Shelee Art group. So shout out to you. First time doing this. I'm still playing. So here we are swiping. I kid you not. Like, what am I seeing here? What's happening here? The cells are forming, just like Cell Activator, slower, but still working. I'll take slow as long as it works. Slow and easy, I guess, right? Um, so at this point, at the center of this, I got a little bit of a puddle, so I'm gonna need to blow on that a little bit. I'm like, I guess I need to blow on it. I mean, it is base paint, so I want to treat it like a cell activator. Well, let's just blow on it a little bit and see what happens. See, right now I'm just all sorts of confused. I don't know whether to call it cell activator or call it base paint, but nevertheless, it is what it is. I'm gonna shift it a little bit before I go and spin this thing out. And yeah, because obviously with spinning, sometimes if your cells are gonna hold up, they're gonna hold up. At least when you spin it. Normally if they start breaking is when they reach the edges, or if you stretched it too much. So if you stretched it too much, you probably have too much Floetrol in it, but I don't have any Floetrol in any of this. So just seeing how they work, or how far they will stretch in terms of what I have on the tile. And yeah, dumbfounded. I don't even have words to express this right now. So I'm just looking and just like, what? It's crazy. So do one more spin, try to get one more corner a little bit, or bleed a little bit off, just to make sure it doesn't move or anything like that. And I'll get you down for a closer look. Sure enough, I mean, the cells hold up. Like, no joke. Like, I looked at them today. They're the same as they are right now. And it's dry now. So, there's no going back. So, here's you a little bit of a close-up of it. I mean, it has some shimmer in it. And I can't complain. Got me with y'all. So, here we are. So, with this, I'm going to do 3 more. Here's what we're going to do. I'm not going to have as much base paint. And I'm not going to use as much color paint, or at least I'm going to try not to. And essentially, I'm going to do the swirl swipe thing that I just did with that. And in a way, it kind of reminds me of almost a hurricane. And if none of you know that or know this about me, I really do like the weather, hurricanes and tornadoes. I mean, I am from Texas. Yes, we go outside if it's a tornado warning, or we're looking out the window or the door. It's a Texas thing. I don't know. But yes, I'm one of those people. So here we are. Really, normally I can get to my cell activator easy because they're just in containers. I can put it on my swipe tools real easy. But due to the fact that this is my base paint, I didn't want to use a stick or anything like that to get it out. So I'm just pouring it straight out of the container that I dip it out of with. So I'm going to rub it in on my cell or on my tool, and we're going to do this. Again, I don't even know why this is working. It's crazy. So this morning, I mean, before I did all this, this morning after I woke up, and they're dry. They dried perfectly, just as if it was actual cell activator or anything like that. Like, okay, well, I'm going to pour a puddle. No, I didn't record it, but because this is just a quick thing, poured a puddle of the paint, of regular colored paint, and I used this base paint as a cell activator, but more like a blowout instead of a swipe. Did it work? Yes. Did it? It'd probably work a little bit better if I had like a base paint underneath it. So there is that. But it did work. It kind of seems like it needs to be thinner or thinned down just a little bit if you want to do the blowout portion of it. Again, it was really just a quick thing for me, so I haven't really gone any further in this except for these swipes. I mean, that's as far as I've gone, except for this little blowout part. But bottom line, it did work. So, something to do later, maybe. So again, I'm going to move this to the center just a little bit. I'm going to spin it out. Hopefully this will give me a little bit more negative space just because I didn't use as much paint for my base and I didn't use as much color. So I'm gonna cover the corners just a little bit. And, I mean, I don't really have that much paint on this tile in terms to stretch it, so it should give me a lot more negative space, because that's what I want. Kind of, you know, like I said, it kind of reminds me of a storm, like a hurricane in a way. Definitely not the colors for a hurricane, but it does resemble it. So here we are. I mean, I'll be honest, these are growing on me the more I look at it, but I'm still at a loss of words for the most part in terms of why it's working. Um, but also, I'm sure everybody will be happy with that too, especially if it works for you all if you have this. So here we are. I'm going to do this a couple more times. Again, I will get you down for a closer look, or try to show you as we go with the remaining two after this one. But yeah, like, here we go. Here's your close up of this one. I mean, the cells are kind of small, I mean, I get that, but I also didn't try to stretch it out far to make the cells bigger. But like I'm going to show you the first one that I did, where the cells are bigger and it was stretched farther. So, I mean, here you go. I mean, those cells are crisp, they're there, and they stayed. So, I'm going to put on some music, finish the next two. If you have any questions, just leave a comment or anything like that. And again, if you haven't already, please subscribe. I would appreciate it. So, here's some music. Alright guys, I'm back. Um, Hope you enjoyed the first one, or the ones I've done so far. Um, Again, I had a big puddle of this base paint, whatever you want to call it, but a big puddle here, so I'm blowing on it ever so slightly, just trying to break it up a little bit. Um, Normally with Cell Activator, you would kind of see the cells start to form whenever you got close to your colored paints. This one, I don't know, you kind of gotta, I don't know, sometimes you gotta baby it just a little bit, just depending on how much paint you have actually there, you know what I mean? So, um, but yeah, I mean, you can sit there and blow on it just a little bit and just try to keep it separated a little bit, and eventually the cell will form. Yeah, I mean, who knew? I didn't. Apparently that tile that flew off my spinner knew what would happen and wanted to show me. At least that's what I'm going to stick with. So here we are. We'll get it a little bit towards the center and go ahead and spin it out. And you know, I never would have thought that my base paint would have worked as a cell activator, because many of you that do this technique just like I do, how much trouble do we normally have with cell activators? I mean, honestly. And then here we are, like a base paint actually worked. It's very disheartening in a way. So here's this, kind of like the tail feather on this one, fading out towards the top. So here's a close up of them. Again, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you haven't already, I would appreciate it if you subscribe to my channel. It's always so great. And again, who knew that this would have worked? So anyway, take care everybody. Thanks for watching.